All right, welcome back to the series. I believe this is video number 3 of the climb as high as I can go doing only pugs, but really it's
10,
explaining my
9,
rotation,
8,
my thought
7,
process as I
6,
move along a
5,
dungeon.
4,
Currently I'm
3,
3071.
2, 1.
I noticed in my last videos that the game volume was a bit high, so I did lower that. We'll see how it turns out in
5,
editing.
4, 3,
SKYREACH is probably my
2,
least favorite. It's just
1.
I think it's kind of boring. There's really nothing too exciting here. So if you notice, my beacons are on my last 2 targets because there's so much passive healing with beacons. Why can't I see this mage? There's so much passive healing with beacons that I don't have to concentrate a ton on them. Alright. If I go quiet, I'm just trying to make sure that I survive this pool. But this was pretty easy. Okay, so the goal of the rotation is to simply get as many armaments and infusion procs as possible. Infusions lower the cooldown of armaments. Armaments give me infusion. Holy shock, if I add that in there. Procs infusions. So it really is just a feedback loop. It's not even a rotation loop. It's just a feedback loop of I want as many armaments as possible, both bulwarks and sacred weapons. So all I'm doing, whether it's offensively or defensively, all I'm doing is fishing for procs with Holy Shock. So I'm casting Holy Shock, casting Judgment, and there's 2 procs. So I'm using the procs even though no one really needs healing, because ultimately the goal, if you look right here, is to lower the cooldown of armaments. That's all I care about. I've said it in my last videos, I'll say it again. When you play Herald, you have buttons to fall back on. Damage goes out, you can hit buttons and bring everyone up, and then you're kind of stacked and ready to go for a short bit. Everyone feels safe. When it comes to Lightsmith, and again, this is my experience, this is what works for me, this is not the end-all be-all. With Lightsmith, for me, the goal is to stay as procced as possible. So if you look right now, I have 5 Holy Power. Ideally, I should have 2 Infusions, 1 Divine Purpose, and 5 Holy Power. Because always having those powerful procs allows you to stay on top of damage. What you don't want to do as Lightsmith is need healing and have 0 procs, have 0 holy powers. So if you can just remember as Lightsmith, I just need procs. All I need is procs and I'll be good. So here's a good example. I have Divine Power, or Divine Purpose rather, and now I have 2 infusions, 5 holy power. So I'll send that. There's no damage going out. Send an infusion, send a holy shock, send a holy shock. And now I'm fishing for procs again, so no damage is going out. That's all I do. So if you just want to watch my UI, you'll notice I just hit a lot of infusions, holy shocks, and armaments. That's all I'm really doing. My mana's at 92%. My mana's right here in the middle of the screen. You'll see that. See, that mage got hit, and so now you know, that was a good example. The mage got hit, but because I had enough procs, I could bring him back up to full health pretty easily. I hit You'll see me hit Light of Dawn every once in a while, and that's because mathematically Light of Dawn doesn't produce the most healing. It's not the best, most efficient button to hit. But if there's group-wide damage that needs healing and it's not too intensive, Light of Dawn is plenty fine. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people say, "Oh, don't hit Light of Dawn in dungeons." But to be honest, there's a time and a place for it. You just have to know when can I get away with it. Like right there, Light of Dawn. No one was really. Of course, I saw that coming way too late. Golly. And there's no soul stone on me. There we go. Yep, that was on me. And that's the problem with talking and healing. Not that that was the only excuse, but... Golly, that was close. Wow. Wow, I'm glad I caught that on tape. That was too close for comfort. Again? This is terrible, boys. This is terrible. I looked at my watch because my wife is sending me messages on TikTok. Please don't die. Yeah. It's a good example of what not to do. Not worried about it. Accidents happen. Deaths happen as long as you understand why. It's not a big deal. So you notice I have a divine purpose proc. You don't always need to send divine purposes immediately, so if you have them, hang on to them. They are good to milk in case you need them. Right now I have a holy bulwark. I'm not going to send it because I don't want it ticking while we're finishing up this ad. I want to get full value out of the shield. Again, I'm just spamming Holy Shock even as we're running. Because, just like you saw there, it gave me a infusion proc. Infusions are quick little ways to snipe heals. So if someone steps in lava, if someone like this guy, I'm getting ticked down. So to have the procs, kind of an instant cast, is nice. I'm going to bubble, just because I know there's going to be good damage going out here. And I'm trying to fish for... Always trying to fish for infusion procs. I know I say it, but really, if you can just master that, it becomes a lot easier. Now, for those that aren't aware, on Tuesday for the next reset, when you cast a Holy Armament, like I did right there, it'll give you 3 Holy Power. That's a lot of healing, because if you think about... If you think about how much healing that gives us... It's a lot of healing. Sorry, just trying to keep these guys up. See, like, that's not good. I just wasted that infusion proc. And back to casting Holy Shocks. Easy boss. That one has a pretty good rhythm to it. If you can just remember the beams, that's the only real damage. The only real damage piece. You'll do alright. So any good Paladin uses all their kit. AoE stun, again, it's just a small damage reduction. Stun one just for damage reduction. I'm probably better off using DPS abilities there, but who doesn't like hitting a stun? Hammer of Justice every now and then. Going into this boss, I'm looking at my mana, I'm looking at my cooldowns, everything is 100%. I have everything I need except lay on hands, but alright, this group's pretty good. They understand it. After this boss, I'm going to show you guys a little shortcut. see. He wanted to risk it. He wanted to get that last GCD in to pump that DPS. Okay. So if you hang out right here. Oh, perfect. Perfect timing. Oh, gosh darn it. It missed it. Here we go. So when this tornado goes and you jump, right when it hits that wall, you can clear that wall and it goes right over. Little piece of tech to help you. Just know that a lot of my pain, a lot of my frustration is from me. And that's because I've said it in other videos. I don't know what every mob does in these dungeons. If I knew what to stun, what to hit, which eventually I will have to learn all of it, but for now, there's nothing really here that feels scary enough to where I need to. We have a really good paladin in my guild who's doing 18s now, so I'll probably definitely talk to him and learn the hidden tech and the strategies for paladin. I think another good one would be know what dungeons need dispels and which ones have the roots and the snares so you can free them out of them. Obviously the bleeds are easy because it shows up on the frames, but... So if you notice right there, I tried using my infusions rather quickly, and that's because when a armament fades from you, it gives you infusion of light. And so you never want to waste an infusion of light. Anytime you have an infusion of light, spend it wisely. If you're not in combat, just feel free to send it if you want. Next week, our buffs are getting, or our abilities are getting buffed, so there's going to be a big... I think there's going to be a noticeable difference. The Discord, the Paladin Discord, saying that probably not a huge difference in Mythic Plus. I personally think there will be. I'm not a huge fan of using wings there, but I don't want to fall behind going into the boss. This boss doesn't hurt too bad. So by the time we get done with trash, I should have a majority of my cooldowns back. This boss I need to get better at timing if I'm seeing... Alright, for the first half of this fight, I definitely felt like I was behind a little bit. And there we have it, Resilient 13 plus 13. I'm almost to 3100, so appreciate you guys watching. No loot. Let's look at my healing breakdown. So remember, my rotation is Holy Shock to reduce cooldown of armaments. Armaments fade, they drop off me. Then when they expire, they give me infusions proc. So I'm using infusions to lower cooldown. I'm using Holy Shock to generate infusions, and that is the feedback loop. Weave in judgments, weave in empowered judgments, and weave in Shield of the Righteousness when you can. Stun and AoE heal, and that's it. I'm not doing a lot of concentrated healing on my party number 4 and 5 because that's where I naturally put my beacons and the hero talent. Hero talent and your 2 beacons do a lot of healing. So let's look at the healing breakdown real quick. So yeah, Holy Bulwark, almost 15%. Holy Light, just as important. Beacon, just as important. Beacon of the Savior, 4.3%. I can get better at whack-a-mole this, at healing my beacon target so it bounces more, but ultimately I'm not worried about it. Then I like to look at what did the least amount of healing, so that way I know, okay, this is not worth it. But it's fine. I'm pretty happy with my build. So thank you guys for watching. This was a plus 13 SKYREACH. On to the next. See you in the next video. Bye.